Would you like to know how to make almost $40,000 a month selling just a single product on Amazon? Today, we're gonna be taking a look at a product that just does exactly that. This week, we're gonna be looking at these cool little nesting bowls to see what this seller does so well to be able to generate $40,000 a month on Amazon. All right, let's take a look at this week's edition of What's in the Box. In this week's installment of What's in the Box, we're gonna be looking at this kitchen accessory. It's called a nesting bowl, and it's basically just a product that allows all these bowls to seamlessly nest within each other to save space and provide a little bit more organization around the kitchen. We're gonna be taking a look at some of the tools that Zonguru offers as well to understand how we can validate product ideas and then also make product ideas even better. We're gonna be looking at the Chrome extension to see how we can validate the numbers and the data. Then we're gonna be taking a look at Sales By to see how the products sell year round so that we can inventory plan. And then finally, we're gonna be taking a look at LoveHate, which allows us to generate ideas around differentiation. And then finally, we're taking a look at Keywords on Fire to see maybe some other ideas that we could generate in the same space by just looking at the keywords that sellers use within this product category. This week, we're gonna be doing things a little bit differently. I actually wanna show you how I discovered the niche nesting bowls and the product that we're gonna be looking at using Keywords on Fire. Now, Keywords on Fire, it's an amazing keyword research tool that will help you not only optimize your listing, but also generate ideas around product research. Specifically, I wanna show you how you can use Keywords on Fire to start really broad with a really broad idea and then narrow it down into a niche within a niche. Just as an exercise, what I did here was I wanted to find a kitchen good or a kitchen accessory. So rather than go down the product research rabbit hole, which we talk about all the time, which is a great way to do your product research, we're gonna just start with a broad phrase and then see what keywords and what phrases are successful in that category. So you're kind of getting that 1,000-foot view and then bringing it down to the 1-foot view. So what I did is I just actually added a products by phrase and I ran a session for just kitchen goods. So inside of kitchen goods, what you're gonna see is we have 607 unique keywords. And now what I mean by that is when I added a product by phrase, it took the top 50 best performing listings for kitchen goods. And then it took out all of the keywords that those sellers use and that those listings use and rank for. When we look at the results, the keywords results, when we're gonna look at what's being shown inside of Keywords on Fire now, you've got all sorts of different things. You have knives, bowls, you have plates, cups, everything that could rank for kitchen goods. We have a list of very, very broad keywords. What we wanna now do is we wanna use the filters to really refine that and bring it down. Specifically, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be trying to find medium to high demand keyword phrases, but that also are not super competitive. So we can use the filters, and I just wanna pause for a second. If you're unfamiliar with this tool and this is the first time you're using it, we have some really great tutorial videos, some overview videos, and we really focus on this tool a lot, and we have been recently, so you're gonna wanna check those out. So what I'm gonna do here is there's two main ways that you can really measure the demand of the keyword, and that's the search volume and the dollars generated by that keyword. In this case, what I did is I wanted to just see all the keywords that were generating at least $4,000 a month in revenue. That shows at least a somewhat of a healthy demand for the keywords. So now we have the demand side of things. We need to get the competition taken care of now. So the best way to take care of that is to actually filter by the reviews. So we wanna see, in this case, I just chose less than or equal to 450 reviews because much more than 450 reviews means that the average seller has more than 450 reviews, and that just means that the competition is really competitive. The average seller is very strong in that category. So we wanna see a little bit less competition than that. So what I did now is I've taken our list of originally 607 unique keywords for kitchen goods, and we've now refined that to 41 unique keywords. And what I'm just gonna do now is just find something that jumps out and is interesting to me. I'm not an expert in this space, so I was just looking for something that in whatever way I felt like connected with me was something I would explore a little bit deeper. One of the first phrases that jumped out to me was nesting bowls. I wanted to discover what that's all about and what that category is. That, in a nutshell, is how we discovered this product. It was just a very, very quick search using Keywords on Fire, using a broad general phrase, and then refining it down. So that's just a really good exercise in how you can use that tool to generate ideas for your product research. Even if you're not in that listing copy optimization stage, Keywords on Fire tool is still very useful. What we're gonna now do is we're gonna look at the Chrome extension data to validate this niche within a niche. And specifically how we found this product, this nesting bowl product within the list of products is one that sells really well. And then we'll unbox it and see what this seller does well and what they can improve upon. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna open up the Chrome extension. Now, the Chrome extension is an amazing tool towards validating product ideas based on the data. So we're gonna see all of the important numbers that would basically let us know if this is a good or a bad product opportunity using the Chrome extension. So the first thing that you're gonna notice is the niche score. Now the niche score takes into account 4 key pieces of criteria that make up a successful product niche. And that is the buyer demand, so how often people are buying the product, the competition opportunities, so how strong the competition is, how much traffic is going to each listing, how many reviews they're generating, but then also how well optimized those listings are. So it's not only how strong the competition is, but how well optimized they are. And then we also take a look at the investment sweet spot. So approximately how much it would cost to invest in this product category, as a new seller and a seller that wants to rank on page 1 based on the sales velocity of the competition. And then finally, the revenue potential. So that we're taking a look at the demand, but then also the average price of the products to understand, for each sale, how many dollars are we putting in our pocket? Because at this point, Amazon is less of a margins game and more of a kind of a long-term sustainability game. So you need to understand that you want to have a product that's priced around the $25, $30 range, because it just means you're putting more dollars in your pocket for every sale. If you're thinking about the average seller having a 30% net margin. So those are some of the things that take into account the main niche score. Now in this case, the buyer demand is 55%, so it's a little bit above average. Competition opportunity is kind of low, which means that this space is competitive. It might be a little bit more difficult for new sellers, but it's not particularly expensive to invest in. The investment sweet spot's at 92%, which is pretty good. That's actually really good. And then the revenue potential is at 70%, so the price point is good. So we have some things that are very good about this product category, and then some things that might give us a moment to pause and really look at the details of the category. Now, the one that I want to point out really quickly is the competition opportunity. This just means that sellers have a lot of reviews, the average review score is pretty high, and the sellers are pretty well optimized. But one thing that you always want to pay attention to when looking at competition in a niche within a niche is how well do these sellers stand out from the competition. And this is something that we talk a lot about. It's a product differentiation. You need to have a really firm answer to the question, why would a consumer buy my product over the competition? And I didn't see a whole lot of differentiation on page 1 looking at these products. A lot of the sellers are using similar color schemes on the bowls. They're using glass or stainless steel. The photos are not particularly unique. There just seem to me to be a lot of the same on this first page. However, the product that stuck out to me is the one that we bought, which is this one here, and the one that we're gonna be unboxing. You can see that this seller does a really great job of going through a large color scheme for the colors that they selected for each individual bowl. They also photographed it and designed the product in a way that looks really interesting on page 1. They're not doing these like pyramid images for their hero image. They're really truly nesting the product, and it makes it seem like this would fit perfectly in a small cupboard in my kitchen. So this is a really cool product in that sense. A couple other things that I just want to take a look at using the Chrome extension is just these averages up at the top here. So this just reinforces the niche score data. We have over 1,000 monthly searches for the search term nesting bowls. We have the average seller making 753 sales. The average price per unit is almost $29. It's a really, really good price point for this product. The average seller, like we've already talked about, has a high number of reviews, so 387 is pretty high review count. The customers seem to really be enjoying these products. A 4.6 average rating is pretty good. And then the average seller is doing $18,000 or more. which is amazing. You have to take a step back and think about that. You know, selling just a single kitchen bowl set could be making you almost $20,000 a month on Amazon. That's a pretty cool number. And then finally, the launch budget, which takes into account, you know, approximately how much it would cost given the price point to stay in stock for at least 3 months on Amazon. So those are what those numbers up at the top mean. We have all sorts of other cool ways that you can manipulate the data. You know, you can click on any of the columns to sort. What I like to do in this sense is, especially looking at highly competitive niches, is I'll filter by reviews, and I'll just see, you know, okay, what are the top sellers? You know, how many reviews do they have? But more importantly, scrolling down, how many sellers have less than 100 reviews? Because those are the ones that we're going to be wanting to compete against in the very beginning. As you can see here, you know, we have a 62% niche score for this product category. We have a pretty competitive niche, but not a whole lot of differentiation. So we're going to unbox the product and see what that experience is like. And then we'll look at Sales Spy to see the seasonality of the product. And then we'll come up with some cool ideas around differentiation. Okay, so let's see what this seller does well and frankly not so well. And this frankly does not look like the product photos. So when I opened the package, I was expecting to get, you know, the perfectly nested bowls that were in the photo. It just doesn't look very good. It doesn't look like what the photos promise. So there isn't a whole lot of interesting information around this package. It has the product photo, you know, some information around the company and some information about the dimensions and exactly what you're getting in this product. But literally the packaging is one piece of this clear plastic and then the ribbon that goes around it. But I mean, literally the second part of the packaging is actually one of the bowls itself. So really, really simple packaging that couldn't cost more than a few pennies. So now let's just open this thing up real quick to see what it's all about. So without spilling these everywhere, you can see that now that I've actually like really stacked, I had to do a little bit of puzzle making here, but once I've really stacked the product, it does look much more similar to the product photos. What's interesting about this product, you know, a lot of different actual bowls themselves, but then you actually have, you know, colanders, and then you have actual individual measuring cups as well. So it's pretty cool. But one thing that strikes me about this product is this plastic feels very cheap. It feels like really, really hard plastic. Honestly, it feels like the type of plastic where if I dropped this, one of the bowls would probably shatter. I haven't stress tested this product yet, but if this was something that you'd be interested in selling, that would be one of the things that you would want to stress test once you buy sample products. You know, beat these things up, see, you know, how many runs through the washer it takes for potentially the dye to come off. Throw this thing around and see, you know, what it would take to break one of these, because I have to imagine that it probably wouldn't take much for this product. So really, really simple unboxing experience for this product. There's no inserts, no warranties, no information on the product. I think that the seller could do a little bit more to engage with their customers, and there's no information about leaving a review or why you'd even want to do that. There's no email campaigns either. They clearly don't use an email automation service like we offer. There would be no reason for me to leave a review for this product. Honestly, if I bought it, I would just use it and that's it. But now that we've unboxed the product, I want to look at the seasonality and how this product sells over time. And then I just want to see what other customers have said about the product using LoveHate, so we can see if we can generate some ideas on how to make this thing better. So we are inside of Sales Spy, and I've added, you know, basically the 3 best performing products in this niche, just because I want to see, is there any seasonality to this product? As we get closer and closer to Q4, you know, we would want to make sure that we're preparing for increased sales if this is a seasonal item that's, you know, say purchased for family members or something for Christmas or cooking enthusiasts. So we're gonna go ahead and actually open up the sales graph for the product that we purchased. And what you're gonna notice here is actually this seller was selling pretty remarkably well through about April. And then something happened where their BSR has begun to really kind of take this negative upwards trend, and their sales are kind of beginning to slowly taper off. And, you know, just a note on that, if you were to sell this product, that's actually probably some optimistic results, because if a seller up at the top is beginning to see a downward decline, you might think to yourself, okay, well, how can I outperform them while they're kind of in this weak state right now? So this seller seems to do pretty well year round, but their sales have been dropping pretty consistently. And then let's just take a look at the other 2 sellers in this category. So again, pretty solid year-round sales. You don't see these big spikes during certain times of the year. However, for this seller, it looks like they may have run into an issue where potentially they ran out of stock, or Amazon potentially punished them in any number of ways. So you see their BSR also spiking, it looks like at the beginning of March this time, and then their sales took a hit as well. But since about May, they've really recovered and have been back on that upwards trajectory that they were showing at about this time last year. And then you will notice actually that December, January, and then into a little bit of February, their sales were a little bit higher. So this is important information to have, because if you were thinking about actually selling this product, you were thinking about how much stock to buy, you'd want to look at how the top sellers are selling and their trend in the graphs, so that you can inventory plan accordingly. You know, if you were looking at this product in June and how the sales were doing in June, and you were planning the inventory based on June sales, then come Q4, when the sales, you know, 1.5 to 2.5x, you know, you're gonna be more at risk of running out of stock. So it's really important that you use Sales Spy. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna look at now is LoveHate. We're just gonna see what customers have said about these nesting bowls and see if we can get any insightful information. So if this is the first time you're seeing this tool, at a very high level, what it's doing is it's scanning all of the reviews for the top 50 listings. In this case, we use nesting bowls, and it's scanning the reviews for recurring phrases or words that show up in all of the 1 and 2 star reviews where people hated the product, and then the 4 and 5 star reviews, the reviews where people loved the product. And then we're creating separate word clouds for those 2 sections, so that we can see what are people saying frequently in the bad reviews and what are people saying frequently in the good reviews. Okay, let's take a look. I usually like to start in the hate section, because you know, you saw it with this product. Where my head goes is, you know, what are some fatal defects to this product? I'm thinking about how can I avoid any potential problems with a customer, and then I like to think, okay, how can I differentiate this product? A couple of things that pop out to me at a glance is poor quality, and then also black residue. So these actually go back to what I was talking about. So you can see here, we're seeing the product that is getting these negative reviews for poor quality. And look, I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. For this product, we see a 1-star review back in January where somebody said, I dropped it from just 1 meter table and it cracked. And then they actually provided a photo as well. So you can see here that this plastic actually does crack at times. So again, just something you'd want to go to your supplier to talk about, you know, making sure that the quality of the plastic is as high as it possibly can be. I'm also curious about this black residue. It looks like for these stainless steel bowls, if that was something that you were thinking about selling, it looks like at a certain point, the stainless steel, I'm guessing it's probably a spray, begins to just wash away in your dishwasher, which not only just shows that the quality of the product is probably cheap, but that could probably raise some health concerns as well for the consumer if there's, you know, potentially metallic paint flying around in the dishwasher. So, you know, 2 fatal flaws that we recognized in a few of the products at the top of this category with just a glance. So there's way more information that you could possibly gather and gain to make these products even better by looking at the love section as well. You know, it looks like people are saying slip bottoms in 114 different reviews. So, you know, people are saying they love the slip bottoms of the bottom bowls. So that's something that you would want to make sure that your product contains as well. If that's literally something that 114 people mentioned in a positive review. So we covered a ton of material like we always do in these unboxing videos. This time we did things a little bit different. We took a look at how Keywords on Fire can help you generate ideas for your product selection by starting really broad in categories that you're interested in, and then getting narrow by using the filters. This allowed us to find a niche within a niche. We then looked at the Chrome extension data, and we validated the product idea using the data that's provided in the Chrome extension. We now know that this is a niche that's a little bit competitive, but also shows some promise and potentially you know, a little bit of room for new sellers as well. We also looked at Sales Spy to understand the seasonality of products, so that when we inventory plan, we do so according to the data that's provided. And then finally, we looked at how we can make these products better using LoveHate and taking a look at what people have said about this product and similar products. And then finally, we actually just unboxed the product. We bought it ourselves, and we took a look at the experience and how we could potentially make it better if we were going to sell a similar product. I hope that you guys enjoyed this unboxing video and found it informative. We have a ton of other videos that you're gonna wanna take a look at if you're new to our channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on Amazon tips, industry news, and strategy. And make sure to check our description below. We've got some really useful links, including live group training, and we'll see you next time.